here we go. If you are in the chat, predictions are now... Predictions are now open. Place your bets, everyone, on who you believe will be our first finalists tonight. Will it be our Zerg or our Protoss? Who will it be a spawning in the top left-hand corner of Site Delta? We have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Vitality. It is Solar. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Club NV. It is Creator. Here we go. We are catching up. And we are settling in. Also, just to... I just saw someone say something in the chat which is not correct. I saw Volt in the chat asked, did Nightmare do his military? He did not. He did not. So, just as a heads up, Nightmare has not done his military service yet. Has yet to do it. Just as a reminder. As a heads up. So now we're going to be settling into our game, settling into our PVZ. It's going to be a hatch gas pool opening here by Solar. Meanwhile, Creator just going for a gate expand into Cyber Core. Standard builds so far. So I'm catching up with the chat. Operation says max max. Ah! Hold on, I'll restart the prediction. My apologies, my apologies. Sorry. Hold on. Hold on. To do everything myself. Creator. I think it was because I was saying the name MaxMax at the time that like what's over. Okay, there we go. Now if you're in the Twitch chat, predictions are open. I do apologize. Predictions should be open and they should be the correct players this time. Predictions open again. There we go. I want to bet on Max. You're like, I want to just burn my money, Poppy. I know that he's already been eliminated. Give me the option. Let me throw it away. Oh no, not like this. But now it's going to be a Stargate opener. It's going to be a Stargate opener here out of Creator. Standard build out of our Protoss player. Creator, he's not too known for his Twilight Council play, but we'll keep an eye on him. As a reminder, we did cast Creator earlier this week. Sorry, last week even. For some reason, I thought that we casted Creator versus Shin, but no, it was Nightmare versus Shin, so I do apologize. The Adept's just going to be keeping tabs here on Solar, keeping him busy back at home as we get into our Oracle production. So far, Solar just joining up, taking his third base, everything looking as it should. We are splitting up our queens, no spores yet, just relying on our queens initially to defend. Speaking of Ling Speed kicks in, we do catch the Lings. Good positioning here by Creator. Does force Solar back. A couple of Lings get peeled off just to get eyes on the third base location. Speaking of, Creator does throw down the third. And should soon have an Adept at home to defend. Oh, as the Adepts, they do threaten the Shade. We do cancel. Lings, they do dip in. They do get the probe. Oh, as that was a rough decision made there. Creator does end up spending some energy back at home to defend, to deal with those Lings. Meanwhile, third Oracle is on the way. Again, triple Oracle opener into a third base. Just a standard build so far out of Creator. This should be leading to a Twilight Council and a Forge for +1 and Blink. Should be headed in that direction. Going for a Robo first. Oh, let's go. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've casted Creator, but Creator, he has been known for quite some time for going for a very different kind of unit composition in ZvP. Doesn't do it every game, but does go for like a more Archon Immortal heavy composition if he plays macro. I'm curious if that's going to be the case. Lair is on the way for Solar. We're not skipping the Roach Warren, thankfully. Roach Warren is on the way just to be safe. There's that Forge, there's that Twilight Council. Again, I'm curious to see if we delay our Twilight Council upgrade and go for +1 and a faster Templar Archives instead. Or we could just go for Blink. We'll see. We could just go for Blink. There we go. There's the fast Immortal production, which is very iconic here of Creator. When it comes to this style that Creator's playing, it's not really done too often. Like, I feel like Creator is the biggest advocate for it. And it's going to be +1 and not Blink. Charge! Okay. I'm here for it. I'm ready for it. So Creator's going to be building up quite a death bull of an army on the ground. He's going to be avoiding Colossus. He's going to be avoiding Disruptors. This usually coincides with the Temple Archives and Archons, but we'll see if that's what we embrace. Now Lings, they do almost slip in. The Immortal is spotted. The Immortal is going to be scouted here by Solar. Meanwhile, the Oracles, they haven't gotten much done. Looking at the trades here, they've gotten 1 drone so far. We have the Infestation bit on the way. We're getting to Ling, Roach, Ravager as we speak. +1 range is going to be ideal when it comes to working towards eventually Hydra Lurker production in a longer game. Oh, good sort of stepping here from Solar. Gets a lot of damage done on that Oracle. There's that Temple Archives that we spoke about. Again, Chargeal Immortal Archon. That is Creator's go-to. That is the go-to composition here. I know that Cristiano and Geralt, a lot of the Polish Protoss players, have been playing around with this a little bit. They've been experimenting with this style as well. I mean, Creator's been doing this for years. To be fair, they've got their own variation, as we're going into Swarm Host, which is going to be ideal. Swarm Host isn't seen too often in PvZ, but what it is good against is charge lot based compositions. The reason for this is because the army is less mobile. If we had +1 Blink Stalkers, we can maneuver around, we can chase down the Nidus Worms and threaten the Swarm Hosts themselves. Here, with Zealots instead, with Archons, with Immortals, we're kind of a slower army that moves around and we don't have as much flexibility. It can be difficult to keep up with those Locust Waves. Here we go, the Swarm Hosts are amassing. Again, we've seen Dark do this a lot against Creator. The Queens are going to be moving out as well. That I was not expecting. Solar, he's going to be committing with this. Yeah, the Queens protecting the Swarm Hosts against those Oracles. Swarm Hosts have been spotted. Shield batteries are on the way. Cannons are on the way. We're amassing Archons as we speak. Here comes our first Locust Wave. Can we get the base? Can we break the army? What do we go for? We have the Prism we can juggle. Let's go. So far, good control. Oh, I said that the Immortal goes down. The Immortal does fall. The Prism under fire. We collapse on the 4th base, and the 4th will fall. Big pig up. 4th base goes down. We're amassing Ravagers. You can see that Solar, he's drawn up to 68, and he is not droning any further. It's a 3-base all-in from Solar. With Swarm Host as a backbone to this army, that I was not expecting. We have Colossus on the way. That will help against the Swarm Host, but they need time. It is going to take time here, as the Locust Wave is almost ready, and here it comes. We have the overcharge. Locust Wave going to be coming in. We collapse here on the Archons. We collapse on the Sentries. Ooh, Bilesy take down one of the Oracles. The army is being forced back. Again, good juggling with that War Prism. The Colossus have arrived as well. Creator, he's holding. He's holding on, Papi. The soup does lie. The Queens are going down. And we're getting on top of those Swarm Hosts. And Solar, he's going to be forced back. As Creator, he shuts out every single Roach. Doesn't quite get on top of the Swarm Hosts, though. They do manage to slip away. But Creator does hold. Again, even though Solar was maxed out, bearing in mind that a lot of that supply is here in these Swarm Hosts, and without their Locust Wave, they don't really add much at all. Here comes the 3rd Locust Wave. And towards the Colossus, we go for the dive. We get one. Oh, I spoke too soon. The juggling, Papi. We save the Colossus. Good juggling here by Creator. Saves the Colossus, shuts down the Locust Wave, saves every single worker as well. But these Roaches, they're breaking through. Ooh. Almost bringing down that Colossus as well. And they get one. One Colossus falls. Solar once again being forced back. And we're getting into double Immortal production behind this. Now, what's important here is that Creator technically has a better economy, right? Like, Solar hasn't been droning. Bear that in mind. He's still sustaining himself on 3 bases, but the longer this goes on, the worse it becomes for Solar. So he has to be careful. As once again, he's breaking through this Colossus Leech, trying to. He does get the overcharge, does get the shield battery. The Colossus gets one. Yeah, he gets one, and it's too much. GG gets called. Solar snowballs out of control and takes game number 1. Whew, GG. Happy. GG, well played. Solar will take it. Again, we had a unique composition out of Creator, going for Charge Lot, Immortal Archon, but Solar, he was able to identify that. Again, Creator, he's known for this style as well. He's known for this composition, and Solar was able to make use of Swarm Host. Now, what's interesting is he didn't just go Swarm Host to like snipe bases and to get ahead economically. He was all in. Like, he doubled down, drone up to 68, sent his Queens across the map, his Roach Ravager, his Swarm Host, everything. Very aggressive build there by Solar. Very aggressive response. Did work out in the end. Creator held for as long as he could, but he was still, you know, denied a 4th, and he was bleeding out Colossus, unfortunately. He was bleeding out a lot of those units, a lot of those high-tech units, and could not sustain himself. GG. GG, well played. We're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Let us go. How he got away with early Swarm Host there? I mean, there was nothing that could be... you can't really punish the Swarm Host there. Again, because of... just to wind it back, to emphasize it a little bit more, specifically because the build of choice from Creator, like he's building up at home, he's not being active on the map. If we wind it back to game 1, that's another reason why Swarm Host can punish Creator's build. Oh. Hello. As we're going for a 15-15. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of Alkyone, we have our South Korean Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Vitality. Going for a 15-15. It is Solar. Going for the gold. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Club NV. It is Creator. Not so easy to get to that spot though. Kind of. I mean, it's a little bit easier, specifically against what Creator was going for. That's why it's a common response. We see Swarm Host most commonly when a Protoss player is going for a more Zealot-heavy composition instead. But here we go. We see Creator coming in for the Probe Scout. Does confirm that there is no natural base. Dips in and will get eyes on the spawning pool. Now is aware of the 15-15 and should soon be checking the gold. Now the question becomes, how do we try to punish this? Now, we've seen Classic and Nightmare. We've seen Classic and Nightmare fail to punish this. Against Shin earlier this week, we saw Classic try to cannon rush this. We saw Nightmare try to cannon rush this, and they did struggle against Shin. Meanwhile, Creator does not throw down a Forge. No Forge from Creator. Hasn't confirmed what's going on, but he should be able to piece it together here. At least I'm hoping he can. Again, like, he's aware of the 15-15, and if there's no natural, the hatchery has to be somewhere. So he should be checking. Behind this is opening up more standard. There's no 2-gate response either, so there's no cannon rush, there's no 2-gate. Looks like we're opening up in a more standard fashion. Creator now confirms the gold, which I'm pretty sure he was already aware of. And we're going for a Stargate opener. Now, we have seen players go into Glaive Adepts from here, like Stargate into Glaives, behind the like initial Void Ray opener. Regardless, we do need to try to punish this in some way. We cannot just allow Solar to get this goal base up and running uncontested, as the Adept is going to initially arrive, threatening that mineral line. Stargate soon to finish. And it is going to be the Oracle opener here, not the Void Ray. Okay. So opening up Oracle. Now, the plus side here and the opportunity that Creator has with an Oracle opener, you don't actually have to apply pressure to the gold. You can hit the main, right? We can pick and choose between the gold base or the main. And likewise, Solar also has to split up his forces to defend both main bases at once, or both bases at once. And he can't really support the other with his queens. So this is not going to be an easy defense here by Solar. Creator once again going for an early Robo. Okay. Now this could be for early Immortal production for an Immortal push here on 2 bases. I'm curious if we take a third. For now, there is no third base as the Twilight Council was staying on 2 bases. Uh-oh. This does look like the beginning of a 2-base all-in, as we should have a third by now. Oracle moves out. Gets eyes on the third, nothing here. Yeah, we have a Gateway Explosion as well. It's going to be a 2-base all-in by Creator. And what are we going to be working with here? Earlier Immortals, we can go for Charge. I'm not going to be fond of Glaives in this position. Prism is on the way, not the Immortal. And do we go for Blink, Glaives, or Charge? What is our answer? We're going for a Templar Archives. Okay! Archon production. Let's go. There was a hidden 4th option. It's going to be Archons. Now, I'm curious if this is going to be a slow lot all-in. I think it is. I think it's going to be like a slow lot with Archons, of course, with the main army. Very committed here by Creator. Meanwhile, Solar behind this is going for his Roach Warren. This was, okay, around like 4 minutes 20 Roach Warren timing. Is spreading his creep, is connecting his bases. Queens are amassing. Here comes our initial Archon drop. Immortal production has commenced, as we mentioned before. And we are throwing down a third. And again, this is a very late third base here. Considering the gold that Solar took as well, like Solar has quite a boosted economy. But here come those Archons. And here comes Charge behind it. Okay, the pressure is on Creator. What can he get done? We only have 2 queens in position for now. Archons, they do break in. Yeah, they force back the queens, they force back the drones. Lings are repositioning. Roaches is still on the way. But good defense here by Solar. He does save his workers. The queens, they take a lot of hits. 1 queen goes down. And the Roaches have arrived. So not bad. We deny mining time. We get a queen kill. Creator going for the main. Behind this, the Immortal count is slowly getting higher and higher. We have 1 so far, getting up to 2. Archon's not finding much damage here in the main base. Not yet. As we do rotate back around towards the gold. Oh, back into the main. Again, just trying to catch Solar out of position. Going for the queen even. Oh, doesn't quite get it. The Prism getting very low. If we committed, then the Prism would have gone down. Meanwhile, Lings, they do end up getting across the map. We do have the Oracle to defend. And we're up to how many Immortals? 2 Immortals so far. And we're getting ready for our push. Now, thankfully, we do save the Prism. The Prism was recalled back home, and here comes our timing. We have 2 Archons, 2 Immortals. We have plenty of sentries. Almost like a Soul Train-esque push here by Creator. We've been building up towards this. But Solar, I don't think he took enough damage from the Archons. Not gonna lie, he lost a queen and like a drone. And we collapse on the army. Show us the force fields. But they're gonna be knocked down by the Ravager Biles. Not bad. The Zealots, they put in a lot of work. Yeah, but Creator, his warp in is denied. And he's gonna be chased down. Yeah, Sentry's gonna be falling. The Immortals are exposed. Oh, the juggling is looking good. We saved both Immortals. But we just collapsed on everything else, and Creator just doesn't have enough. Solar with the gold base, he's snowballed out of control. GG gets called, and Solar will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Again, there was a lot of pressure on Creator to get more damage done with those Archons. Like, it was a really interesting build. Basically, it was like a delayed Archon drop, but because it was delayed, like, we had plenty of queens, we had good saturation, we got into roaches, like, we were Solo was looking quite comfortable there, and I mean, I say quite comfortable. He was able to keep up with the Prism harass. He was able to minimize his losses, and that led into his eventual Roach-based army. Again, he was able to, for the most part, take advantage of the Go base and take advantage of Creator there. So even though I do think that that this push from Creator would have done well against a more standard build without the golds, with it, I mean, yeah, Solar, he just had a massive army. It was brutal, it was insane. GG, well played. Congratulations to Solar. Solar advances on to the grand finals. Meanwhile, we are here to determine, is it going to be a ZvP or a ZvT grand finals? We have one player of each race left. Oh, balance, Poppy, balance. Let's go. We have one player of each race. It's going to be a best of 3 between Clem and Classic.